Good morning, Language Arts classes. I'm gonna shoot this video and sort of explain what you're doing today. It's a continuation of the notes that we took yesterday. We're working on synthesis and we're using 4 sources having to do with teenage self-esteem. We took notes on source 1. We even talked about some of these details as we collected them because some of them were pretty surprising, kind of depressing. Same thing with source 4, although I felt like source 4 was a little bit more helpful. We created our own note sheet, so you should have that. And many of you took a picture of it with your iPad, just in case you lost it. Here are our shapes. This is where our synthesis labels go, but we're not ready to do that yet. We still have source 2 and source 3 to look at. So I've attached these sources to Canvas. Source 2 is an infographic, and it supports some of the things that we found in the other sources. There might be some new information or some slightly different information. You'll want to make sure that you take some of those notes. And then source 3 that I've attached on Canvas also is a video. It is a 9-minute video if you don't want to watch all 9 minutes. It really cuts through and gets to the point at the 7-minute mark. So you can just watch the 2 minutes of it and take notes on your note sheet, okay? Once you have notes for source 2 and source 3, this is where the harder part comes into play. It really isn't the note-taking that's the tricky part. It's the thinking. So I want to show you something on my laptop screen that shows you what you're doing with synthesis. Okay. We have 4 sources on here. It shows 3, but what you're doing is you're just looking at the information and you're seeing details that you might group together. You're not grouping them together because they're the exact same thing. You're grouping them together because they're kind of related, and you're thinking about how they relate to one another. Are they all examples of something? Do they all have to do with one part of self-esteem? And so when you start to see things that you think go together, you're going to circle the details that you think you want to group together and draw a line to your first shape, and then you're going to label this something. This should be in your own words, and it should describe how these details relate to one another. What do they all sort of have to do with? Please, for the love of God, don't tell me that they all have to do with self-esteem. Every single detail you copied has to do with self-esteem. But now we're breaking down self-esteem into different categories, different groupings, different parts of self-esteem, okay? You're welcome to look back at the writing prompt to see if there's something that can help you with that as well. This is an informational, expository essay, so it's not a step-by-step process. It's not an argument. What you're going to be uploading for me today and turning in is a completed note sheet showing me what details you pulled together with the arrows drawn to the shape and what you decided to call this. This is all going to be one body paragraph, and it's all going to be about what? After you've done this for 2 or 3 body paragraphs, then you're ready to upload it to me, and that's it. But what I want to tell you is this might not go really fast. You might have to look at these. You might have to talk to somebody about them. You might have to think about them for a little bit. I'm an adult, and even I have to take a look at all 4 sources and really do a lot of heavy thinking. What do these remind me of? How do they group together? Okay, so don't be shy about doing that thinking and taking your time before you turn something into me. As always, I can take assignments after 3 o'clock, but for correct attendance purposes, I'll have to turn off my attendance by looking at who's turned something in by about 3 o'clock today, okay? That doesn't mean don't work on it later. If you need to, go ahead. Keep working on it, and I can go back and look at those assignments and correct that attendance. Have a great day, guys. Bye.